1938. It was an interesting year for me altogether. This was the big day when I came here, 23rd of November. A day to remember. I think I'll be coming back here 80 years later. 80 years. Tudor Williams, my headmaster, wonderful man. I don't know, hook or crook, somehow or other, he'd got invitations for 5 people to come here. He deputed our classics master, Mr. E.V. Williams, the only master who had a motor car. There was a prefect, Kempton Prothero, whose father was the minister of the English Baptist Church in Carmarthen and was a keen supporter of the League of Nations. Gerwin Thomas, who was a very talented musician. Owen Lewis, whose only brother died of TB just a couple of years before, and young Gordon James. Later that week then, of course, we had to report back to the head. Each of us had to give a little spiel to our form mates. It takes your breath away, doesn't it? It absolutely takes your breath away.
And we've got Lord Davis there speaking on the scaffolding, and a lovely lunch in City Hall.
Yes, we missed out on that.
But for me, one of the most moving things about these pictures is that whilst this is where we're stood at the moment with all the scaffolding around, but behind you have these huts and buildings which were churning out sandbags for the onset of the Second World War, and that contrast of the two
in the midst of all this activity.
Yeah. Now we were also going to meet Minnie James, but I guess you'll recognise Minnie.
Without a doubt. And she was so composed, I mean, in the presence of all these big wigs. It's a bit more peaceful today than it was then. Well, we'd never been to Cardiff before, any of the four of us. And it was an adventure in itself to get into this big Ford motor car, and 3 of us in the back, the prefect in the front with it. And listen, we'd been briefed, of course, this was an important occasion, which we were quite conscious of that. And when we arrived, there were lots of people already, and by about, 11:30 or so, when it started, there were hundreds there. It was very solemn, and we were quite in awe of the whole thing, really. We realised that we were very fortunate. We'd all been briefed by the headmaster as to the background of this. This was the Temple of Health and Peace, if I remember, not just the Temple of Peace. There was quite an emphasis on those who were involved on the health side of it. And it was because I'd lost an uncle and Owen had lost a brother, and we were really, I won't say dazed, but we didn't quite know what was going on. We were there with the crowd, and it was wet, and it was a bit miserable, frankly. And we went in, and these pillars, we'd never seen, I'd never seen a building like it. It was so, awesome, really. Plain, but dignified and very impressive. Up the steps we came in, we were jostled, really. It was a big crowd, and everybody wanted to get in there and get a seat. I don't know if the seats were reserved or not. We didn't get one, I know that. I do remember that there was this little old lady who was made a lot of fuss of. She was frail in comparison to all these these big men that were around her, obviously important people, archbishops and mayors. But she had a sort of composure about her. You know, she coped very well, I thought. We wondered at the time, and then we were told why she was chosen, because she'd lost 3 sons in the war. If you can imagine that. Awful. And there were a lot of ladies about, a lot wearing medals. Was this taken on the day?
Yes.
This was, we only found it a couple of
We are
years.
assembled here today to take part in the solemn dedication of this building to the noble purposes for which it was erected. Mrs. James, I have pleasure in presenting you with this key and asking you to accept it as a little token of this, what I know must be a memorable occasion to you.
I should say so. Now, this is magic.
It's true.
In the name of the women of Wales, it is my privilege to open the building. I dedicate it to the memorial to those gallant men from all nations who gave their lives in the war that was to end war. I pray that it may come to be regarded by the people of my country, both of our generation and of those that are to follow, as a constant reminder of the debt we hold to the millions who sacrificed their all in a great cause, and as a symbol of our determination to strive for justice and peace in the future.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's extraordinary.
The fact remains that I was here. That's
Absolutely.
some of it is part. It was wonderful to be part of it. How lucky I was. I'm very, very lucky. I think I'd be coming back here 80 years later.